Gemstone: The Invisible Fortune. The story that can change your time. Imagine waking up one day and discovering you've been wasting diamonds without knowing it. What if I told you that the greatest treasure of your life is slipping through your fingers right now? It's not money. It's not fame. It's something everyone has but few know how to use: time. This is the story of a young man who had everything he needed to succeed, but was trapped in a silent and destructive habit. An unexpected encounter with a wise man and a surprising parable about a fisherman changed his life forever. If you've ever said, "I'll do it later," or "I still have time," get ready. This story could be the wake-up call you never knew you needed. Open book: The Young Man and the Diamond of Time. There was a young man who seemed to have made it in life before it even began. He had loving parents, a brilliant mind, and a comfortable home. But there was something that prevented him from growing up. He always put everything off. "I'll clean it later. Then I'll study. Maybe another day I'll try." While his classmates learned, created, and evolved, he remained still, like a tree refusing to grow while the forest flourishes around it. After failing an important exam, he sat alone, frustrated. His father, sensing his pain, suggested, "Seek the wise man who lives on the edge of town. He can show you what you're not seeing." The next day, the young man went to the wise man's simple hut. The old man was meditating under a tree. Opening his eyes, he asked, "What troubles you, my son? Everyone says I'm wasting time, but I don't understand. I'm young. I have my whole life ahead of me. Why are you in such a hurry?" The wise man smiled and said, "Let me tell you a story. Fish: The Parable of the Fisherman. In a village by the river there lived a humble fisherman. Every dawn he walked to the river with his net. One dark morning he stumbled upon a small cloth bag. Inside, stones. It must belong to some child, he thought. Sitting by the river, with nothing to do until sunrise, he began tossing the stones into the water. Plop, plop. Each sound was a small distraction. He threw them far, he threw them close. He thought about life. Maybe each stone is like a day, thrown without thinking. The sky began to lighten. The last stone was in his hand. When the first ray of sunlight touched it, it shone. It wasn't a stone. It was a diamond. The fisherman froze. He had thrown dozens of diamonds into the river, without knowing it. Mantelpiece clock. The young man fell silent. The wise man concluded, "Every day you throw away is a diamond lost. Time doesn't come back. And what seems ordinary can be precious." At that moment the young man understood. It wasn't about rushing. It was about not wasting anything. He returned home determined to turn each day into a polished diamond. If this story resonated with you, perhaps today is the day to stop throwing stones and start hoarding diamonds. Broken heart: The scream that shattered the silence. The scream escaped his throat like thunder in the stillness. The truth fell upon him like an avalanche, brutal, irreversible. With trembling hands he turned the empty bag inside out, desperately hoping to find another stone. Nothing. Only the silence of the river, which now flowed, carrying a fortune he never imagined he possessed. He fell to his knees at the water's edge, clutching the only remaining diamond to his chest. Tears streamed down his face as he murmured, "What have I done?" In the darkness of ignorance, he had randomly thrown away a treasure that could sustain generations. He wept. He screamed. He cursed himself. But time cannot be reversed. The diamonds that had been in his hands were now lost, thrown away by himself. In the dark, unaware. Mage: The Sage's Revelation. The sage watched in silence. His eyes penetrated deep into the young man's soul. "Do you understand what this story means, my son?" The young man shook his head, confused. In a calm voice the wise man explained, "You are like that fisherman, and your life is like that bag of diamonds. Each day, each hour, each instant is a rare jewel. But in the darkness of procrastination and lack of awareness, you throw them away thinking they are just ordinary stones. You say, 'I'll do it tomorrow,' and there goes today's diamond. 'I'm still young,' and there go this year's treasures. 'I have plenty of time,' and the river sweeps away another chance. The darkness represents our blindness to the brevity of life. And when the light of understanding finally arrives, many have already thrown away almost everything. Sunrise: The Beginning of a New Dawn. The young man's eyes widened. Understanding finally illuminated his mind. The wise man smiled tenderly, "But there is hope. You are still young. The sun is just beginning to rise in your life. Yes, some diamonds are already gone. But look closely, there are still many in your bag." The fisherman was lucky to see the dawn with a diamond in his hands. You are even luckier. Your dawn arrived with years ahead of you. The wise man touched his shoulder and asked, "Now that you know that every moment is a diamond, will you continue to throw them into the river of wasted time? Or will you treasure them and build the life you were born to live?" The young man wept. But this time they were tears of gratitude, of resolve. He bowed before the wise man and said, "Thank you. I understand now. I will never waste another diamond again." Fire the transformation. From that day on, everything changed. When his mother asked him to do something, he did it immediately. When his teacher gave him an assignment, he turned it in the same day. When an opportunity arose, he grabbed it with both hands. His classmates could hardly believe it. The young man, once known as the school's biggest procrastinator, had become its most trusted. Within a year he had caught up with his peers, and surpassed many of them. Years later, now a respected and successful man, whenever anyone asked him the secret to his discipline, he would smile and tell them, "The story of the fisherman and his diamonds." Gemstone, the truth everyone needs to hear. "We all have a bag full of diamonds," he would say. "Every moment of life is precious beyond measure. But in ignorance we throw them away thinking they are just stones. The fortunate are those who awaken before the bag is empty. Don't wait for the light to come too late. Recognize the value of your time now, while you still have it. You can't retrieve the diamonds you've already thrown into the river. But you can ensure that, from now on, each one is valued." Sparkles, what will you do with your diamonds? Dawn is breaking in your life right now. You still hold diamonds in your hands. The question is, will you keep throwing them away? Or will you use them to build the life you deserve? Hourglass not done. Time doesn't wait, but you can choose how to use it. Success isn't about having more time. It's about seeing the value of the time you already have. The difference between those who achieve their dreams and those who just dream isn't talent or luck. It's how each person treats their minutes. Successful people treat time like diamonds. Distracted people treat it like ordinary stones. So promise me one thing. Don't live like someone who wastes what's most precious. Promise me that, starting today, you'll be a conscious person. Someone who honors every second as if it were gold. Now, share with us in the comments. Backhand index pointing right, what's that thing you've been putting off for ages that you're going to start today? Backhand index pointing right, which diamond are you ready to stop throwing away? If this story opened your eyes to the true value of time, like and share. You could be the reason someone wakes up before it's too late. And if you want to continue receiving stories that transform the way you see life, subscribe to the channel. Because you can't control time, but you can control what you do with it. Until the next story, remember, stop procrastinating. Start living. Every moment is a diamond waiting to shine. Gemstone.